Welcome back to Stacy So-and-So and day 7 of Vlogmas. I'm so glad that you decided to join me again today. Remember a couple days ago we did a flip through of this book. This was the 1972 Christmas idea book that had been put out by Wright's Trends and Notions. Well, there's a project in here that we looked at and it kind of got stuck in my head. Let me show it to you real quick. Remember this little card? The little Christmas tree made from rickrack and sequins, and they made Christmas cards with it. I really liked it, but I was like, I don't think I have time to make Christmas cards for everyone. But it kind of sparked an idea, and so today we're going to do a little project that you could do as either a Christmas ornament. I'm making a larger version to hang on my mantle along with my stockings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some fabric, and you're going to need one of these hoops, and we're going to make either, you can make the larger one like I am to do like a wall hanging, or you could do a smaller version and make Christmas ornaments for yourself or to give out as gifts. So give me just a second. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see all of the things that you'll need for this project. Here we go. I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. So obviously you're going to need a hoop, whatever size you want to do. You're going to need some glue. You could use hot glue, or if you're going to do this with the kids, because this would be a great kids project, you could use some tacky glue. This is, I think, from it's either Dollar Tree or Dollar General. Some trims for decorating. You're definitely going to need green rickrack. You can use any size, so you're definitely going to need that for the tree. I also have some brown bias tape that I'm going to use for the trunk of the tree. Then I just pulled out some buttons for decorating. I pulled out some little pom-poms. I might use those. You could also use something like this, like little rhinestones for the tree or sequins. And of course, you're going to need a piece of fabric and a pair of scissors. So gather all your supplies and meet me back here. Okay, so before we get started, one more thing you're going to need is either some sort of twine or ribbon. I think I'm going to use this baker's twine to make the loop at the top of my picture so that I can hang it. So make sure you have some sort of ribbon or twine, whatever you like, so that you can hang your picture or your ornament. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our embroidery hoop. We're going to take the inside piece and put it underneath the fabric. Here we go. Then you're going to take the outer side piece, which is the piece with the little screw on top, the little thing to tighten. You're going to press that over, make sure it's nice in place and snug, and then you're going to tighten it up even more because this is going to be the canvas of our picture. So once you have it nice and tight, the next thing you're going to do, take your scissors and you're going to trim away any excess. And so for me, it's easier to turn it over and cut like this all the way around. And of course, this excess scrap I will use for something, even if I just use it for stuffing, for like soft sculpture ornaments and things like that. Okay, so toss that aside, and there we go. So now we have the canvas for our picture. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to set that aside. You're going to grab your green rickrack. Now I went ahead, let me slide this over, and cut out the links for your Christmas tree. Now, the size of rickrack that you use, just pick the one that you think works best for your project. I am using, it's medium size rickrack, and I tested it works very well on the size of hoop I am using. So for the very top of your tree, you're going to cut a little piece like that. That's just one little hump. And that's going to go at the top of your tree like that. Okay, for your next piece down is 2 little humps, and you center that over your first piece. And I bet you can guess. The next one has 3 little humps. And place that. You want to kind of place them first before you glue them down, just in case. We're actually going to lay everything out before we glue it together. And this one has, this is actually the next one down. Here we go. So this has 3 humps at the top, but 4 at the bottom. And if you lay it across, there we go. So 1 hump, 2, 3, 4, and you could stop there. If you're using a smaller hoop, you may only be able to get 4 on here. But since my hoop's a little bit bigger, I have room to do 5. And I'm going to put that across the bottom like so. Now, because rickrack tends to unravel pretty badly, I am actually going to, I've already done this one, I'm going to, of course, as always, quickly apply heat. If you're doing this with your kids, you will want to do this part for them. So we're going to do that with each one and then place them back, and then we'll come back and we'll move on to step 2. Okay, so now that I got my ends all finished, let's go ahead and glue our tree in place. Before you do, just make sure that you have everything where you want it. I'm going to be using a little yellow button at the top as my star. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough room for that, because at the very top up here where I'm going to put the little loop, I want to add a little wooden red heart. And it looks like I'm going to have plenty of room. Also, make sure you have room. I cut a tiny little piece of brown single fold bias tape for the trunk. So you want to make sure that you have room for him too, and I do. So once you get everything in place, go ahead and glue your tree. And if you have your little trunk, go ahead and glue that in place, and then we'll move on to more decorating. And here's where we are so far. I went ahead, I hot glued the button up here, but I gotta tell you, I found that attaching the tree was easier to do with the tacky glue than the hot glue gun. So you might want to use that instead. It dries clear. I also went ahead and attached, oops, like a little bit of glue. There we go. The tree trunk as well, using the tacky glue. What I like about it is it does dry clear. So if you see any squishing out from the side, just brush a little bit and then just let it sit and dry, and it'll be clear. So now we are ready to decorate our Christmas tree. Okay, so now comes the fun part. Another fun part. We get to decorate our Christmas tree. So I pulled out, I'm going to put this trim. It's little tiny itty bitty pom-pom trim. I don't even remember what I bought this for and have never used it, but I'm going to glue that at the end. I'm going to glue that around the edges. And like I told you, I have the little wooden red heart I painted that I'm going to glue at the very top where I tie it on. But to decorate my tree, I've decided I'm going to use little red buttons. So before I start gluing them, it's a good idea to just kind of figure out where you want to place everything. Now you can use anything that you have to decorate, sequins, pom-poms. I did have some little pom-poms, but they were a little big for my tree. So I opted for red buttons, and they're all different. I don't have a lot of, let's see. There we go. Just kind of play around with it till you get them where you like it. I think that's going to be good. Once you have them all placed, let's see, that's better right there. Okay, no, let's switch. Put that one here, put this one here. Oh, that's better. Okay. So once you have your ornaments in place, grab your tacky glue or your hot glue gun and start gluing them in place. And this part, if you're doing it with kids, they'll really enjoy this because they can decorate however they want. If you had some ribbon and you wanted to put garland on the tree, you could also do that as well. I'm trying very hard not to burn myself. There we go. So go ahead, decorate your tree, meet me back here, and then we'll move on to doing trim and adding the ties, and then we'll be done. And there we go. My Christmas tree is decorated. So now the next thing I want to do before adding the heart up top, I'm going to go ahead and create my little loop so that I can hang it. So I'm just going to take my baker's twine, fold it down the middle, and then just feed that through from the back, go to the front, then take your loop, pull your back tassels through your back loop. Whoop, like that. So that when you pull it, it stays in place. There we go. Okay. Then I'm just going to, at the very top, I want to make sure this is tied really well because I do not want it falling off and then into the fireplace. That would be very sad. So I'm going to do a couple of really tight slip knots. There we go. And I don't want too much of a tassel at the top, so I'm just going to snip that. So there we go. All right. Now I'm going to, before I add the heart, I'm going to, this is going to be the messy part. Let me trim off the side right here. There we go. So let's see. All right, so we're going to start it right about there. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue around the edge. This is my least favorite part, using the hot glue with all of the wispies. There we go. So you can kind of get an idea of how I'm going to frame it. Now, if you don't have pom-pom trim, you don't have to. You can use anything you want. You could maybe use some red rickrack or any kind of decorative ribbon to put all the way around. So go ahead, if you're going to put trim around, go ahead and put trim all the way around. Meet me back here. We'll attach the heart and we'll be done. And there we go. The little white pom-pom trim is all the way around. Now it is time for me to add my last little decoration, and that is going to be the little heart that sits at the very, very top. Actually, this little pom-pom looks like he needs some extra glue. There we go. Pull the wispies away. Okay. And let's just put the glue right in here. And then press our little heart into place. Pull away any little wispies. Oh, glue wispies. There we go. Isn't that cute? And this will look beautiful hanging on our mantle. So there we go. And it looks really pretty with the Christmas stocking I made. Now I just have to make 2 more stockings. So I hope you enjoyed our project for today. I think they turn out really, really cute. And you can make them, like I said, to decorate your own home or include them in a gift. I think I'm going to order some smaller embroidery hoops. They make ones that are about that big, which I've made ornaments from before. And I think I'm going to do a set of these to include in Christmas gifts I do family gifts every year, usually a basket. I think I'm going to make some of these to include in those gifts this year because I think they turn out really cute. So thank you again for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for day 8. So have a wonderful day and happy sewing.